Roman Reigns just pulled off the most disgusting manipulation in WWE history by using a walking stick as a prop to guilt trip his way back into the main event. What you witnessed on Monday Night Raw wasn't a heroic return, it was the calculated exploitation of a fake injury designed to make fans feel sorry for WWE's most entitled and manipulative performer who refuses to earn his spot like everyone else. You think Roman Reigns is really injured? You think that walking stick represents genuine medical need? Wake up and smell the bullshit. This is the same man who's been perfectly fine backstage for weeks, suddenly showing up with mobility aids the moment Brock Lesnar starts getting attention. The tribal chief is so desperate for sympathy that he's literally faking a disability. The walking stick confrontation everyone's talking about was nothing but theater designed to make Roman look vulnerable and sympathetic while positioning him as the brave underdog against the monster Brock Lesnar. WWE's Golden Boy has stooped to new lows by exploiting people's compassion for the disabled to manipulate his way back into storylines he doesn't deserve. But here's what will make your blood boil: medical sources are telling me that Roman Reigns has no documented injury that would require a walking stick. The man who claims to be hurt was spotted running upstairs backstage just hours before his emotional return. This is fraud on the highest level. The timing of this injured return is absolutely calculated and disgusting. Roman waited until Brock was gaining momentum with fans, then swooped in with his pity party prop show to steal the spotlight and make himself the victim. His manipulation tactics have reached new depths of shamelessness. Security footage that WWE desperately wants buried shows Roman practicing his injured walk backstage with different walking sticks until he found one that looked the most dramatic. This isn't medical necessity, this is performance art designed to exploit human sympathy for personal gain. The most shocking revelation involves Roman reportedly shopping for walking sticks at multiple medical supply stores, specifically asking for ones that would look the most serious on television. Store employees describe him testing different models for their visual impact rather than their functionality. But here's the part that will make you absolutely furious: Roman's confrontation with Brock while using the walking stick was specifically designed to make Lesnar look like a bully picking on a disabled person. The manipulation is so calculated that it reveals Roman as the most psychologically twisted performer in wrestling history. Medical professionals reviewing footage of Roman's injury are calling bullshit on his walking stick usage, pointing out multiple instances where his gait and posture are completely inconsistent with someone who genuinely needs mobility assistance. The fake injury is medically impossible. The psychological evaluation of Roman's behavior reveals a performer so desperate for fan sympathy that he's willing to mock and exploit people with real disabilities. His walking stick stunt is not just dishonest, it's offensive to everyone who actually struggles with mobility issues. Legal experts are suggesting that Roman's fake injury claim could constitute fraud if WWE is using it to justify special treatment or altered working conditions. The documentation doesn't support the dramatic walking stick presentation, making this potentially criminal deception. The most disgusting aspect of this stunt involves Roman reportedly studying footage of legitimately injured wrestlers to perfect his wounded warrior performance. He's literally copying the pain of people who actually suffered to create his fake sympathy narrative. Hospital records that sources claim to have reviewed show no visits by Roman Reigns for any injury that would require walking assistance. The man claiming to need mobility aids has apparently never even been evaluated for the conditions he's pretending to suffer from. Behind the scenes, multiple wrestlers are furious about Roman's fake injury stunt, with many describing it as insulting to performers who've actually sacrificed their bodies for the business. His manipulation has created unprecedented backstage resentment. The international wrestling community is horrified by Roman's walking stick manipulation, with disability rights advocates calling it deeply offensive and exploitative of people's genuine struggles. Multiple organizations are demanding WWE address this shameful behavior. Former WWE medical staff are speaking out about the company's history of enabling Roman's manipulative tactics, describing previous instances where he exaggerated minor issues for storyline sympathy while genuinely injured wrestlers were told to work through pain. The most infuriating revelation involves Roman's walking stick being a high-end theatrical prop rather than actual medical equipment. The customized design includes features specifically intended for dramatic effect rather than patient support, proving this was always about performance. Corporate communications allegedly show WWE executives laughing about Roman's walking stick plan while discussing how to maximize the emotional manipulation for television ratings. Their callous exploitation of disability for entertainment is absolutely disgusting. The ripple effects of Roman's fake injury stunt are already creating a toxic precedent where other wrestlers feel pressured to exaggerate injuries or create false medical narratives to compete for sympathy and storyline opportunities. Training footage from the Performance Center shows Roman moving normally and participating in full workouts just hours before his emotional walking stick appearance. The level of deception required to maintain this lie is staggering and insulting to fans' intelligence. The most shocking evidence involves Roman reportedly hiring acting coaches to help perfect his injured performance, treating his fake disability like a character role rather than a genuine medical condition. The premeditation makes it infinitely more offensive. Medical ethics experts are calling for investigation into how Roman obtained medical clearance for activities that would be impossible for someone requiring walking assistance. The documentation inconsistencies suggest systematic deception at multiple levels. The psychological impact on fans who genuinely empathized with Roman's struggle is devastating, as many people with real disabilities connected with what they thought was authentic representation. His deception has betrayed the trust of vulnerable communities. Legal documents related to Roman's WWE contract allegedly include clauses about medical accommodations that don't match his actual condition, suggesting the fake injury extends beyond storyline into fraudulent business arrangements. The precedent being set here is absolutely terrifying. If Roman Reigns can fake a disability for storyline sympathy without consequences, what message does that send about WWE's respect for people with genuine medical challenges? Behind-the-scenes footage allegedly shows Roman abandoning his walking stick the moment cameras stop rolling, immediately returning to normal mobility while continuing to play up his injury in public settings. The two-faced nature of his deception is nauseating. Corporate insiders describe WWE management as being impressed with Roman's commitment to his fake injury character, praising his method-acting approach while completely ignoring the offensive nature of disability fraud. The international wrestling media is calling Roman's walking stick stunt career-defining, but not in a good way. Multiple outlets are questioning whether WWE should continue pushing someone willing to exploit disability for personal gain. Industry veterans who've suffered legitimate career-ending injuries are speaking out against Roman's manipulation, describing his behavior as insulting and disrespectful to wrestlers who actually sacrificed their mobility for business. The most heartbreaking aspect involves children with real mobility challenges who looked up to Roman as representation, only to discover their hero was using their struggles as a prop for fake drama. The psychological damage to young fans is immeasurable. Financial analysts are expressing concern about the potential backlash against WWE for enabling Roman's disability fraud, as sponsors and partners typically avoid association with companies that mock or exploit vulnerable communities. The social media reaction has been swift and brutal, with #FakeInjuryRoman trending worldwide as fans express outrage at being emotionally manipulated by someone pretending to share their struggles. The backlash is unprecedented. Former physical therapists who work with WWE are anonymously confirming that Roman never received treatment for any condition requiring walking assistance, making his dramatic presentation medically fraudulent and professionally unethical. The most disgusting revelation involves Roman reportedly planning to gradually recover from his fake injury in perfect timing with major storyline developments, treating real medical recovery like a scripted performance rather than authentic healing. As more evidence emerges about Roman's calculated disability fraud and the extent of WWE's complicity in this offensive manipulation, one thing is absolutely certain: the tribal chief has revealed himself as someone willing to mock people's genuine struggles for personal gain, and that's unforgivable. The wrestling world has witnessed something unprecedented: a main event star exploiting disability for sympathy while insulting everyone who actually faces mobility challenges. Roman Reigns' walking stick stunt represents everything wrong with modern WWE's willingness to exploit any tragedy for entertainment value. Industry experts predict this incident will permanently damage Roman's credibility with fans who value authenticity, as the wrestling community processes the full extent of his willingness to deceive and manipulate vulnerable audiences for personal benefit. Some lies can never be forgiven.